Hello, guys. Welcome to this new series. It's called The Inner Project. And this first episode, I want to talk about my experience of 7 days without any social media or any streaming platform. It was just basically me by myself without reading, without having any type of online presence. And it was actually better than what I expected. I divided this video in several points and I did a couple keynotes so I can remember as I'm talking. Please excuse me if you see me from time to time watching my notes. I just want to let you know that in advance. So why did I disappear for a week? So what happened is that I'm right now doing the Artist Way course, and in this course, on the 4th week, they ask you to stop reading or watching TV. But that's applied to times before social media. So I am applying this to nowadays situation that we have streaming platforms, we have also social media, and all this together, it's what the book calls as a passive content consumption. Just watching something in the background, listening to a podcast, having the TV on, playing your favorite series like Friends or all of these series that you have already seen and you actually don't care so much about the story because you already watched, so you just play it in the back because you like to have something playing. They explain in the book that if you have this type of behavior and you have this type of habits, this makes your inner voice be quiet. You don't have the usual dialogue that you should have with yourself to evoke your creativity to come and let you create things. And especially nowadays that we have the infinite scroll on TikTok and Instagram, you just keep going down and you keep finding new more stuff. So it's not just like passively consuming, it's just now it came to the point that you're just burning your time completely, and social media just makes you think you're doing something, but in reality you're doing nothing. You're just consuming what someone else already thought or what someone else is already doing. I'm not saying this is bad. What I'm saying is that the purpose of this experiment or this week in the book is for you to start to do what you really like. Have conversations with your inner child, and this inner child is gonna tell you, hey, I really don't like to always go to museums. Maybe I want to go to a park, or maybe I don't like too much going to park. I'd like to go more to see antique shops, or I don't like maybe staying at home. I like to go out to listen music to a bar. So this is the type of things that you only discover when you have this conversation with yourself and your inner child. So this is why I disappeared. And at first it was a little bit difficult, but like 2 weeks before, I remember I noticed I had a lot of time spent on my phone. Through my phone metrics, they said like, hey, you're spending like average 8 hours a day in your phone. That cannot be healthy. So I noticed that, and also I noticed I was spending most of my free time listening to podcasts. And at first I used podcasts to like fill the space while I'm working. And then I find myself driving home and okay, I'll play the podcast, no problem. I'm also driving, not doing big thing, like I can pay attention and listen. Then I find myself being at home where I really wanted to be, to do my art or to read or I don't know, just do whatever I really like. And I find myself keep watching this podcast, even though it was at first meant just for filling my working time. So it was becoming more like my actual hobby to just consume the information than doing something. And this is something bad because it silences your creativity. More than your creativity, it stops you from doing stuff. It depends from person to person. Some people are more controlled, like they know like, okay, I'm done from watching TV or series for now. I'll go for a walk, or I'll do my personal work that I like to do, or I'll do my hobby. But if you're the type of person who likes a series, sits down and watch the whole season in one night, that's probably not the best, and you are kind of fitting into the just passively consuming content that it's not good for you, because you could be having some rest for your work, you could be doing something that actually means a lot to you than just watching a series that was designed to keep you catch on the story. I mean, it depends from case to case, but generally, if you're watching TV series at 3 a.m., probably you should check up your priorities. I mean, it's just my comment. Like, don't take it personal. Of course, it goes from case to case. I've been there, and I know what it feels to finish watching a series at 4 a.m. and being like, it was good, but I should have waited until the next day just to watch it. Never mind. It's just my opinion. And this is why I disappeared for 1 week. Then my second point, what I gave up. So what I really gave up was my Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Also for streaming platforms, I did stop watching Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max, and Amazon Prime. That's basically it. YouTube, of course. I did not quit music because they say, especially in the book, that music is allowed as long as it's for like helping you think or as a recreational thing. Music is allowed. The point is to don't do something that's gonna knock you from reality. So I gave up this, and I literally went to my phone, my settings. I set limit time a day, like for these apps, and I set it to 0 a day. I literally quit it completely at that moment. At first, I was able to control my habits of watching something. I was like, okay, I'll just talk to my girlfriend, talk with my parents, text a friend, call a friend. This type of stuff was very like what I went straight to for fulfilling this new empty space, and also working a little bit on my paintings and also my videos. But the thing that I missed the most was that I have some friends. The only way I have to connect with them or to text them is through Instagram. So I was feeling a little bit bad that maybe I was not gonna text them. And maybe they were gonna think like, hey, what happened to this guy? So I decided to jump back on the first day, just like 1 hour later, to just post a story. Okay, hey guys, look, I'm leaving, and I'm sorry if I'm not checking your messages. I'll make an update by the end of the week. And that was it. Then the silence hit hard. What happened was, at first I find myself having some free time and going right to my phone and clicking Instagram app. And I thought like, wow, that's so weird. Like, actually it's just like a reflex from my body. Like, oh, free time, let me just, oh, I cannot. Or someone is like, something is starting to get like boring, or I'm not enjoying so much the situation, I will jump right to my phone. And at first, like a couple times it happened to me that I click the app. And of course, when I click, because it's limited time, it shows like, hey, you exceeded your time, you cannot see the app. So I was surprised, like, oh, I'm here, okay, I'll go out. So I had to control that reflex. It was not so difficult, but definitely I had it. And at some, like the one that I couldn't stop is just grabbing my phone and hold it to the face. But nowadays I do something different when I pick up my phone and grab it. I usually check emails or write down something, like what is running through my mind, to control this like habit of wanting to have my phone on my hand all the time. Yeah, but that was my first emotions or reactions to not having social media or streaming. Also, I find out I was at first not getting so bored, because I had time to do what I always wanted to do, like painting and going outside more and talk more, spend more time with family, friends, and girlfriend. So at first it was good. The difficult part was the later days. That was the really difficult part, because I noticed that there's not always happening something fun, and sometimes you just get bored. And if you don't have, like, I felt I didn't have somewhere to rest my mind. My mind was always like rushing, like going like 2,000 kilometers per hour, and I could just not stop. And the only way I knew it was just watching movies or checking social media. This situation was very painful, like actually painful. My brain hurt. I was like actually getting anxious, like I'm so like what is happening? Then I noticed what it was happening. It was that I was basically always present. I was always living the moment. I was always right here, right now. And that's something that my mind was not used to, because I've been having phones since I was like, I had my first iPod with like touch screen. I had it when I was in my first grade of high school, so it was kind of young. And nowadays I see kids that they have iPads since they are 2 years, 3 years old, and I'm a little bit worried. Like it's gonna hit hard, but that's a topic for another moment. What I realize is that when I find myself bored, I will feel a little bit anxious that I'm not doing anything. And then I had to talk to myself and calm myself like, okay, Manuel, you're just bored. It's just gonna be 1 week. Don't worry. When you finish, you can go back, and this type of pain of being bored, like anxiousness, it's gonna disappear because you're gonna be able to see your phone and everything's gonna be okay. As the days progress, I start to talk more into me, like to myself, hey Manuel, you should not just go back like as an addict, hey, go back to grab your drugs. Why don't you just think and try to improve and grow out of this situation? And that's when I start to have some specific work inside myself, and I notice that like the tools I acquire through life, through reading, through experience, through traveling, through work, through studying, through school, through friends, through family, it all came to me in that moment when I'm bored, and my mind starts to work with all these tools I have acquired through life. And then my mind, alongside with not having something to do, let's say, besides work, of course, it came with an idea, like something higher, and then realize, hey, Manuel, I really want to continue doing YouTube. And then, of course, because this is the only thing I have in mind right now, not phone, not nothing. Okay, then why? Oh, because I like the feeling of talking to a camera, for example, that I don't particularly enjoy. I get very nervous, but it is what it is. I enjoy sharing my thoughts and talking a lot, so I guess it's hard to get used to watch the camera and talk. Then all this process happened in my mind, and then okay, so you want to continue, then you should create something that you like, something high quality. And this process continues, just like Hegel method of like denying or refuting some logical thinking through logical thinking. So you can continue refuting. In this case, I don't know how to explain, probably there's a more proper way to explain. In this case, I was just cleaning my idea, cleaning until I reach something I really like and I can do it. And this was so interesting to me, this process, and I really enjoy this process of being present, using my mind to do this, I will call it creative process actually. That was what happens when everything went silent in my life. Very, very interesting thinking. I really enjoyed that time. So learning to be present, I had to slowly see the beauty in everyday actions, everyday stuff, like talking to certain people that usually I just say hello, maybe, hey, why don't make a little bit longer conversation, enjoying talking with my coworkers, reaching out to old friends, talking with family, reaching them out. I just basically find out that there's so many things in life, in my case, that I don't always appreciate as I should be. Having a nice bed, some nice perfume, like just sitting down and enjoy like some beautiful smell, like some incense or some good smelling candle. Like sometimes people, we can not appreciate completely these situations. It was part of, in my case, I use it to learn how to be more present. I learned how to be more calm, more peaceful. I learned to organize my ideas. I actually implemented that every time I was feeling so bored, I will just write down on my phone, on my notes, on my computer, and just let my mind be, let my mind express. And that's so beautiful because I've been also reading Hegel, a brief introduction to Hegel before I entered this course. So I was having all these thinking mechanisms and all these soul, mind structures fresh in my mind that I was able to connect my mind's process and my mind's work with the Hegel's description. Also, I'm reading Beyond the Ego, that it's also a psychology book that explores more modern type of psychology, and they also talk about, they call it like normal state of mind. And they say that for you to improve or to change your state of mind, you have to enter to altered state of mind. And this altered state of time can last from days to minutes to weeks to seconds to years. But then eventually you come back to your normal state of mind. And then you just process what you experience in your altered state of mind. And then you achieve a new higher state of mind that has more knowledge and is more intelligent. So having all this fresh help and having all these tools helped me a lot to take the most out of having this moment of always being present. Always being present for this week I had, it made me feel like I was always in an altered state of mind. Because for me, my normal or regular state of mind is having phone, scrolling, watching series, TV. But my altered state of mind was not having this, even though I think myself it should be the opposite. But it is what it is, you know. We are just being victims to the social media and to the companies that only want to make money, but it's not our fault. So of course you can change it, but it requires work. But well, my point is that I use all these tools to learn how to be present and be more calm without all this social media. It was a very great experience and a very good thing that I really enjoyed that I went through. It was very, very nice. Then conversations got deeper. I noticed myself happening like deeper conversations with people. I will not just stay on regular topics like everyday topics or the usual conversation. I will try to go deeper because I knew like, okay, if I finish the conversation, I will be bored or it's gonna be bored. Like what I'm trying to explain is that I start to value more conversations for what they are. And this idea balancing between one mind and another, it was so fascinating to me at the moment. And it's still fascinating to me. So I start to enjoy more talking to people and having more deeper conversations, take it to the next step. It was so good, so meaningful. I enjoyed a lot my talks during this period. And even nowadays, I have not completely go back to my old habits. I definitely changed a lot. But yeah, the conversations were a very, very big influx point. And nowadays I can see it in my everyday life. I have better conversations that I like. I genuinely enjoy it. I genuinely connect with the person I'm talking to, and I'm really interested on the topic and the person I'm talking with. So that's one of the main things I also would like to share with you, that the conversations got better and overall I enjoy it more. So to be honest, it's something I'm very, very happy about it. So as I said, discovering my internal resource was an inflex point because I was able to identify, like, okay, so what can I do if I'm bored and I have nothing to do and I'm not in a situation that I can paint or go out for a walk and I'm just seated, what can I do? All these like thoughts started to come to my mind, and I started to elaborate ideas, creative ideas or just reflective ideas or introspective ideas, but all helping and being shaped by my reality and what I have acquired through years, my knowledge, my tools, books. As I said before, all of this helped me to realize that I've learned that life has moved. I mean, I always know we are always moving, and especially me, I always look for, okay, my progress. What's my progress in life? I've been progress economically or mentally or intellectually. Like I always strive for progress. But here, it was like one of the very few times where I can really, really see my progress in my own mind and myself seeing how I think different thanks to the tools I acquire. And I can see how my material conditions completely shape my mind. And it's something I want to emphasize because it's some topic that I've been reading a lot on Hegel's work. Each mind is determined by their own conditions, material conditions specifically. So even if you have a brother who lives in the same house, same parents, same everything, he's gonna have a completely life different to yours. Completely. And there you're never gonna be close to see how he sees his life. But you can try to understand his point of view. But you are never gonna truly be like, okay, I understand him, or I can see how he see the things. And the same way happens with everyone basically. So it was a very good moment when I discovered my internal resources and I could analyze my reality this way. Yo, hello guys. My camera overheated, so I had to take a small break. What I was saying is, so at the moment I was very thankful. about it. That's it. So I have this analogy that I heard from Brazilian philosopher called Diego Rusarin. He says that we are having the same relationship our parents had to the cigarette when they were younger, around like 60s, 70s. That people thought like, oh, no problem, it's even healthy, the cigarette, like smoke it, there's literally zero problem. Then the years came, they realized, hey, this is killing us, this is actually so bad for our health, and let's prohibit it. And even some countries completely ban from smoking. So I think we are having right now this relationship with social media. Eventually later we are going to have to regulate it, because the way we get bombarded information from everywhere just for a company to do a couple more dollars. They're destroying kids, they're destroying adults' span of attention, they're stopping you to be creative just for the money. Like they're completely, for example, in my case, I will spend up to 2 or 3 hours scrolling, infinite scrolling on TikTok. 2 hours of my day that I don't have so many free hours a day after work. And then imagine just burning two on absolutely doing nothing. I think this is a very serious problem that right now it's not getting the right attraction, especially because of money, and also because we don't see it's a big problem. At least I used to be like that, but after this analogy, I realized, hey, it seems like eventually at some point we are going to have to regulate it. That's what I think it's the relationship we have right now, and what I think about social media. So would I do it again? People have approached me and tell me, hey, so you enjoyed, it was a torture, how was it? What's your conclusion about it? Some even thought like, hey, you're crazy, what's happening? Are you getting into a cult? Is this a new religion, or what's happening? I know they are intrigued and they want to know more, and my short, honest answer is yes, I will do it. And I'm actually doing up to this day, up to now. I still have not changed my limit time from 0 for my apps. And I have also not watched TV or series because I like how productive I am. I really, really like how productive I became. I learned that I can do many things in one day. In just 1 hour, I can plan a video, write down some bullet points, organize my ideas, and in the next 30 minutes record the video. And then I can just continue and do it again and again, and I enjoy a lot the editing. I enjoy a lot the sharing my thoughts with the internet, with whoever watched this video. That makes me so happy. That's what I enjoy the most. Like that's what my truly inner child and myself enjoy. Not scrolling 2 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, just social media, watching some series that I don't care. When I finally finish the week without being connected, I just watch a series, I log in my Instagram account, let everybody know like, hey, it was good, I enjoyed, let me share you my weekly check-in, write some messages and log off. And that's what I've been doing. I just only log in at certain point in the day, usually after work, just 15 minutes, answer messages, maybe if I want to share like some story or something, I share, and then forget about it, like until tomorrow. I don't want to give more time that it's necessary to social media just for socializing. Maybe later in later days I will change it, but for now I want to keep it like this because I really want to be productive. Also the same with series. As I was saying, on Sunday I watched the new episode of Last of Us and it was amazing. I enjoyed a lot, but I just watch and finish, like not watching anything else. Since then, I'll be honest, yesterday I watched a little bit the Guardians of the Galaxy, but just because I really wanted to see this movie. But actually I feel like, I already watch, and I watch because of the nostalgia, but I really, I think my need for watching it was like a honest 3 or 4 out of 10, and my need for recording or painting or working on my script or working on idea for the video structure, I think it was more a 10 out of 10 necessity priority. So now my body even changed because now I really want to just do it. I really want to just do what I really want. I'm not satisfied with just watching some series or listening to podcasts. I have not listened to podcasts. So yeah, I will do it again because in some matter I'm still doing it to this moment. So yeah, I will do it. Look, it's not a must, but I encourage you to do it, and just keep watching this video. These videos are good. So what I want now is still being present, being able to have value conversations, use my ability to be present in this moment right now, to enjoy, to feel alive, to feel the air in my skin, to feel the sun. Like, I just want to continue being present. That's what I want in my life. I don't want anything that pulls me away from being present, unless it's something my really inner soul, my inner child, my true mind wants to do. I'll think carefully how I'm gonna use my time and what things deserve my attention and my time, because we are not gonna be here forever, and life it's just once. You cannot change it. So I rather do something that I'm gonna feel happy about than something that I'm just not gonna feel nothing. Literally nothing. I remember one podcaster, Roberto Martinez, he's a Mexican podcaster. He said that podcasts are usually just placebos. It just makes you think you're learning something, it makes you think you're intelligent, but in truth, probably you won't even remember what they talk about in the podcast unless it was something memorable in the next week or 2 weeks. So that's what I want now. I want to still be present and have the freedom to have my own decisions. And sorry for getting too dramatic. I just like to take my conversations this way, very dramatic. My closing thoughts about these 7 days without any social media is that they were amazing. A little bit extreme, to be honest, but I feel if I didn't do it this way, so extreme, so sudden, it wouldn't have the same effect. Maybe I will have some of the effect, but not completely the same, because this completely deprivation of any content forced me to actually feel the extreme ways my mind can work and what can my body take and my intelligence take me and my creativity think. It was like being a basketball high school player to jump next day completely to the NBA. Like, this is big leagues. So it depends on each person what they can take from this experience. Maybe go after that, they go back to high school games, or they go to university games, or they just stay in the NBA. Of course, this comparison looks like one is better than the other, but it depends really on what works for each one. For me, it was kind of a problem, and that's why I had, like, even though it was extreme, I'm happy it happened this way. And nowadays I'm keeping it a little bit extreme, but it's what works for me and what makes me fulfill. So that's what I will say. I will encourage you to be bored. Like, let yourself be bored. You are genuinely completely bored, like at most 2 minutes. After those 2 minutes, you will see your creativity in your mind become into something more amazing, something more higher, something more growth. I don't know how to continue explaining this, but let yourself be bored. Explore your mind in a creative and productive way. What I mean in a productive, it's something that really fulfills you. Not what fulfills a company, not what it's gonna fulfill your family, not what it's gonna fulfill the world, not what it's gonna fulfill the economy. Something that it's gonna fulfill you, your inner child, your inner desires, and your inner soul and mind. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope you enjoyed. Welcome to this new series. I hope you like it. I have more projects coming, new series. This is gonna be a good season for this channel, and for those who enjoy my content, you're gonna also enjoy it. And of course, myself, I'm gonna enjoy it a lot. I like to just turn on the camera and talk about anything, but I like to do more thought content and practice. So at the end, you have a very high quality content, but I'll keep it honest and I'll keep it very true. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here, and I see you in the next video. Bye-bye.